build is a little similar to a lot of our old builds. We cut a land today. We cut one rivulet. We maybe should have cut a field of rune, but if we get paired versus any mirrors, it's a pretty important card, and it's at least usable versus Ramianap or Red Deck Wins, whatever you want to call it. We're testing. We're down to one illumination in the deck. I'm really not liking them, but like I dislike Glimmer in quite a few matches as well. So this gives us one little early cycler for the early game. Early cycler for the early game. Blurp. But since we've cut down to a 25th land, we're trying one disallow over a Supreme Will. Our last build had 3 Supreme Wills and 1 disallow, and honestly, both the cards performed pretty good. Gideon's on the chopping block, and we're down to a third or 2 search for Azcanthus, which I'm pretty sure, like I've said before, I believe I want closer to 4 than closer to 2, but I've had a million suggestions to try to, so we're going to try to, even though on paper and how the games have played out, I kind of think that's wrong, but... And the sideboard, we've cut the Sunscourge Champions. I think that's what they're called. The little 2/3 things that gain life. Honestly, they wasn't helping us a whole lot. We're still just struggling with the Red Deck Wins match. I don't know how to fix it. It's the main reason I don't play this deck right now. I have no idea how to fix that match. But and with all the changes we've made to the main deck, what we added was 3 ops to try to just, I don't know, if you guys hear me stream or watch me stream, you hear me constantly talk about lands, and I think these are one of the best, and that's one of the reasons there's one of these instead of 4 of these. But this is something I can leave in versus Red Deck Wins, while still hopefully being able to clear up my lands. It's just one of the best spells to help you hit lands early. Realistically, I'm thinking that I kind of want to cut to 2 Gideons and add maybe a 3rd search and a 4th meltdown, or maybe a 3rd search and a 26th land, or even maybe a 3rd search and either a 4th settle or a 4th fumigate. But or even a 4th approach. I still don't like playing with just 3 approaches, but our deck's so tight room-wise that I really don't know what to do. But so this is a competitive league again today because we're kind of testing for a PPTQ, and we're really wanting to get paired versus mostly Teamer and Red Deck Wins decks, or Red Deck Wins. And when we play the friendly queues, we do get paired versus quite a lot of real decks, but we get a few less of the top end decks, I would say, is what we get paired versus. Hey, Corey Coolcat, what's up, man? I think we will not cycle to cast out here. Fortunately, this is one of the best cards in Standard versus us. It looks like they're potentially playing the Grixis mid-range and or the Grixis control list, whichever one this happens to be. We'll keep our Supreme Will. If they're playing like the Decandio build, that means they very likely have up to 3 Chandras, and we really need a way to try to stop that. We don't want to just tap out and play Fumigate. How did, oh. Alright, I guess we'll let that one resolve in and play the Fumigate after. Thank you, Lexicon, for the auto-host. Yeah, Ricky was telling me he got his food chain in. Said that it was pretty nice so far. Could have cycled a Supreme Will there, but really don't even know what card I want yet. Still probably right to, since we had 2. We're just really going to hope that they don't have double Chandra right now. Even single Chandra would probably be bad enough for us. think I'm willing to take 2 more damage. Just to be able to, like, Supreme Will. Maybe a Scarab if that's what they have. Alright, sweet. So we took the 2 more damage here. We left up our counterspell mana. Yeah, your deck seemed really fast. Like, scary fast. Wrecked. They have counter spells in their main deck. Well, might as well waste his next turn at least. Might give us a chance to draw a cast out or something. Oh, this was brutal. And a Nicol Bolas? Yep. So we have to draw really well from here. I don't think I would have made us discard that. The card in our hand's clearly not any good in this spot. Don't have much in the way of sideboard cards for this match either. Bring in a couple negates, but that's really it. Maybe the Kefnet. Yeah, Holcomb Band is really, really good. That's an interesting one. I think I like the other card better, but what do I know? Definitely putting that in our graveyard. Well, maybe we have a chance. They have an untapped land. They can play a Scarab and hit us for 8, which is pretty good. They can hit us for 8 this way too. Feels like things could have been worse. I guess I can't put the Settle in my graveyard. I have to have it. They're probably attacked with both. Hey, Don, what's up, man? I'm not sure what our outs are at this point. Nope, I don't know if we have an out at this point. I feel like I need more than just one card cherry pick. That doesn't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropped game 1 to what I feel is probably a good match. I think we're going to bring in these. I don't think I'm going to bring in these. because I think they're too good if Scarab happens. I don't think those are particularly great. I don't think these are particularly great. We're just going to run it back and try to combo. It's reasonable that I could have kept the Gideons in here, but... I don't think they do a lot. We'll keep this hand. We have a search for Azcanta. Turn 2 search for Azcantas are never getting mulliganed. I could have, you know, 6 lands and a search for Azcanta and I'd keep it. We led with the plains just in case we drew Glacial Fortress. We're hoping to fade a Glint here because Glint's, again, as I said, basically the best card in the format against us. And it wasn't just Glint, it was Glint and Efferhub, so that means they guaranteed get 1 card, and that's really, really good. Really, really good. Rally good. It's really, really good. I'm probably going to use my Field of Runes. Two? I guess I'm not going to. Any card but lands definitely go to the graveyard here. Land goes to the graveyard too. But any card but lands definitely went. Guess we might withhold a cast out as well. We'll be using Settled Wreckage if he attacks. Well, guess we won't be using Settled Wreckage, will we? Whatever. He's got a counterspell for the second one of them. That's really bad. Giving him lands is really bad as well, though. Just attacking with 1. Okay, we'll just take it, I guess. Doesn't get to draw a card next turn, so... That's a good draw if he doesn't have a counterspell, but the odds of him having a counterspell are pretty high. He did take our Fumigate though, and he didn't attack with both, so that makes me think he might not have a counterspell. That's the main reason I'm making that play. If he took the Settle or attacked with both, either one, I would not have played Fumigate there. The cast out gave us the insurance to make it feel safe. Sure, don't care about that. Don't care about that in the least. So we've not even saw an approach out of their game. Well, I mean, we saw an approach to turn that we were dead the last game when casting it wouldn't even have mattered, but other than that, we've not saw an approach. feel like he's going to take this card, and I don't really care about the settle in this spot, so I'm just going to Supreme Will and look for a land. Actually going to take this one. Sets 2 negates towards the bottom of our deck. And hopefully this will get us out of whatever we need here. That was a pretty good one. Left Vizier into me, or in the deck. Just 26 cards deep right now. Take it. What's he got this time? Scarab? Sure. Guess we have to try to play this then. Thought he might have a negate there, which was the reason we played it on that phase, so hopefully we could have found something on the other phase as well. Really, you picked that to counterspell? Wouldn't have guessed you would have picked that one. Maybe you have a super powerful card you want to play? Like another Nicobolus or something? Just another Scarab? Not worried about another Scarab. We are getting kind of low on life though. So... doesn't have anything great in his graveyard. I guess we have to take the cast out. It's 9 cards on the bottom. There's 2 negates and approaching those 9 cards. Might take another 2 here, I'm not sure. Depends on if he plays anything post-combat. Or pre-combat, rather. Yep. We're definitely taking the 2 then. So this is a 12th card going to the bottom now. Guess we'll just pass. Try to play Settle. If he attacks with only one thing, I suppose we can cast out it, or even just take the damage, maybe? If he has a counterspell to stop the Settle, we can keep ourselves alive with the cast out itself. I'm grasping at straws at the moment, though. That's not great. Put a counterspell in his graveyard and then played a land. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We do have a chance to hit a Fumigate now, I guess. Because we're not dead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start with this because we hit a settle to wreckage. We would rather use that. I don't think we have enough mana for this. Didn't hit it. So we have to do this to even stay alive. Take 3 down to 2. We are hellbent though, so. Alright, so we can look at 4 cards if we use this one. And we're dead. Our second approach was 33 cards down. I guess we're not dead. We can still hit settle to wreckage with a cycle, but we're practically dead. How about that? We may actually be dead. I've not done the math to see if there's a. I've not looked to see if there's a settle still in our deck. Yeah. There's 1 settle still in our deck. And unless I'm mistaken, it's actually in these 15 cards that we've not saw. Well, 16 cards we've not saw. Could it be? Nope. We're dead. So I think we had 1 Fumigate and 1 Settle, but I wasn't really keeping up with the cards. Oh, he drew a counterspell anyway. It's not going to let us look at our cards. Anyway, so we lost to a match that I think was really good, and I think we were definitely favored in that game for a while. I don't know if I played it exactly right. Maybe I should have brought Enrico Caracoles. Caracoles don't seem very good versus him, though. We did hit 4 cast outs, so I guess we're kind of blessed. So what's everybody into tonight? Not particularly felt good this week. For me, anyway. It is, in fact, definitely code. Hey, it's Tulio Jonde. He's normally playing a Sweet Brew. Hopefully he'll be playing a Sweet Brew today. Sand's fine. We have a couple draw steps to try to find the land, and we can always cycle this in the end of our turn too. We never hit the land. This guy's a very strong player, though. Boo. He could be Pummeler. He seems to me like the type of guy that would pummel. he is Pummeler, we have a fantastic hand providing we draw some lands. I think I should have cycled this cast out during my main phase in case I hit another farmlands. If he's just playing a Temur deck, I'm going to be disappointed. Not that I mean, I don't punished. I definitely want to play versus Temur, but I expect more from this guy. Definitely got punished. Okay. Not just Temur, so that's fine. I'm going to counterspell that. If we hit an untapped land, we're going to want to play this Glimmer next turn anyway, so... Untapped land? Or am I still punished for my play mistake? Yeah, punished for my play mistake, but that's okay. I deserve to be punished when I play like that. Wonder what his white cards will be for. Oh wow, his hand must be pretty medium. Gonna keep the Censor in our hand, because if he didn't play anything on that turn, there's a good chance that the Censor is actually usable. Alright, well I don't want to miss another land drop, so whatever he has is going to finally resolve. Anything but lands go on the bottom at this point. As long as it's not a Chandra, it's not the end of the world, and if it is a Chandra, we have a pretty good chance to find another cast out before it's relevant. I don't even know what that thing does. It just puts a bunch of stuff in his hand that I don't care about? That's fine by me. Whatever it is, I don't really care about it. So this reveals, put all non-land permanent cards revealed this way into your hand. The rest on the bottom. Wow, so you got a pretty good hit. Lands! Land ho! Yeah, we got what we wanted. We got a land. It doesn't do anything else that I care about, right? Put 5 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Yeah, I don't care about that. That is also still several turns away. So non-land permanents. So he has those in his hand now. So basically all we want to do is draw a land. This is -9, right? Yep. Don't care about that. Guess he has to cast one of these? Sure. Just in case I draw a land. Didn't draw a land. Alright, well we actually care about this now. Things can happen that we care about at this point. Apparently. He's got an Undying, Johnny Unyielding in play. We've missed multiple land drops though, or I don't think it would have mattered. And by multiple, I mean 2. Don't care about that. Legitimately just don't care about anything. Now we're in a spot where it's going to be very hard to win, though. It's going to be actually very hard to win now. So we'll take our 2. I feel like our best chance to win involves counterspelling this Whirler Virtuoso that he'll probably play. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know how it would work versus other decks, but it kind of doesn't impress me in terms of this deck. So how much can he attack for this turn? So he can attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if he ultimates this, he can attack for 28. And then how many ever energy he has? I don't know how we get out of this now. We missed that land drop. I didn't think we could lose, and now I don't know if we can win. Probably involves a cast out. But then he's going to have like a massive board. We're just dead on board if we play the approach, so we can't play the approach. And we can't beat this as long as this is on the table, so that's a problem. So it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 15 would have been 23. Plus 3 on this would have been 26. Plus how much ever energy you had. Yeah, we were definitely dead. It's not going to get really much better unless we draw a cast out. If we draw a cast out, we'll be okay. Because we can like settle on his turn and cast out on our turn or whatever. If he just attacks with those, I may just take it. In fact, I am going to just take whatever this is. I don't even care. Whatever it is I'm going to take. I guess we saw him play this, and we saw him play this. And now we've saw him play this. Cast out? Not a cast out. Still has a heck of a threat, and he still has a Johnny. Pretty much have to hit a cast out to even have a chance. Not 100% sure that cast out's even enough at this point. Guess we'll preserve our life total. Yeah, so again, we can't really do anything here. He's got this thing in play, and he can make 5 tokens, and the 5 tokens deal 25 damage, plus what's already in play. So at the best case scenario, at the worst case scenario, he could have dealt, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. So they'd have done 6 each. So 30, 36, like 46 or something. That's like the best case scenario. Maybe there's some magical way that we can just run him literally out of threats. But all he has to do is keep one virtuoso at the end to like stop that from being a thing. As long as we find a cast out, I guess we have a chance still. Providing he doesn't have counter spells or like Chandra's or something in his deck. Just take the damage. At least he doesn't get any of those. Should have been keeping track of what he's been putting on the bottom of his deck. So he didn't play anything else there? I don't really want him to shuffle his deck with these. 4, 8, 9, 10. Kinda don't want to cast a settle, but also don't want to cast a fumigate. So what do I do if I don't want to cast a settle or a fumigate? Yeah, I guess we'll cast a settle. Hey, 10th degree, by the way. What's up? Well, we drew an 8th land, though, so now if we ever do draw to cast out, we're setting in pretty good shape. Because we'd be able to cast out and settle on the same turn. Which I think is one of the keys. Okay. Make him spend some energy, but we'll cast a settle this turn. Wow, 93 viewers. That's insane. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Everybody's come to watch us get wrecked by Super Johnny. Wonder what's the odds we can basically run him out of threats. Probably none. Hello, I'm nobody special. Just a random standard player, but welcome. Stream standard every day. Well, most every day. I guess I've streamed some modern and some commander, but basically stream commander every day. Or sorry, standard every day. Cast out, please? You're not a cast out. Alright, we'll just pass turn. If he's not presenting lethal, we're not blocking, or we're not casting anything. Hey, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy whatever you see here, but you may not. Me and our opponent are definitely in a slugfest at the moment. He's got a Johnny on 18 loyalty. I mean, he's probably going to get there if he doesn't kill us. Hey, Gio. What have you been into tonight, man? We missed some land drops early is how we got in this bad spot. Like, he apparently doesn't have counterspells in his main deck, so... Yeah, that's not... Oh. Okay. He got enough counters to do that. That's fine. I guess we have to cast another Settle this turn. Yeah. There's your Settle. Our Kingdom for a cast out. That's not a cast out. Yeah, well, anyway, we're running out of hope at this point. We could still win if we draw like untapped land into approach, but like our odds of winning are getting pretty narrow at this point. Untapped land into approach would probably definitely do it. Maybe even like untapped land into Glimmer and then hidden approach. But basically step one is we probably need an untapped land next turn, or the third Fumigate to buy one more turn. Well, I guess not even the third Fumigate. There's 2 Fumigates left in the deck. So. Storm is a great deck, but I don't think it's real easy. I think once you get to the stage that you can combo, it's pretty easy, but I think setting up the combo and playing around things and like, you know, like knowing or like not dying to discard and stuff like that's a little tricky. One time untap land? Alright, well there's step one. Hopefully we did our math right. Alright. Step one engaged. Now we somehow have to survive. Could just draw an approach. I only woke up at 2 p.m. So, yeah, I'm still awake. I've only been awake about 3 hours. I'm kind of a night owl. If he doesn't use the Johnny, we don't have to use the Settle. Alright. He's using the Johnny, so I guess we do have to settle. We get redraws with Fumigates and Glimmers and things like that. Wait, nope, he's got a counterspell and we're just dead. So he has counterspells in his main deck too. This game. Would we have got there? No. We were going to die anyway. Wow, we were really going to die. I am from Eastern Kentucky. Alright, so... Hello, friends. And I typically sideboard out some of the slower blue spells in matches like this. I think the Gideons are okay. They're good versus like Longtusk Cub. He doesn't seem to have Glorybringers. Oh, nice. What part of Tennessee? I think a lot of our locals here go and play at Mr. Wayne's or like Mulligan's in the Knoxville, Bristol area. I've not been to any paper tournaments like that in a large number of years, though. Not actually sure where that is. Basically, I just want to be lean post-board and play as many rafts as I can. Hey, thank you for the follow, Afro. Oh, Knoxville. That's fair. I have a friend that moved to Knoxville recently. Sounds pretty fair. I'm actually going to keep this. The opt lets us keep a little bit weaker hands. Well, this deck isn't a control deck. It's kind of a combo deck. Yeah, this deck plays more like a turbo fog deck than a control deck. I think there's a PPTQ in Knoxville Saturday, actually. I think there's one. I think it's at a place called Mulligan's. Yeah, but this deck plays a lot more like a turbo fog deck than anything. Well, not even a turbo fog deck, just like a fog control deck. Hey, thank you, Schmurricane? I can't pronounce things, man. I'm a big redneck. But thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. He can have that. Take care, man. Sleep well. I know it's super late. Actually, I have to take a car to the mechanic in 2.5 hours. I think that card's fine. Not going to cycle to cast out here because he's got problematic planeswalkers, and if we missed a land drop on our turn, then we'll cycle it, but... So we missed a land drop, kind of forces us into the cycle. Missing land drops is just really bad with this deck. And since he's probably going to play around Censor, if we can't peg something with the Censor this turn, we'll probably cycle it as well. Luckily, we get a little something with it. Our Kingdom for a Plains, or a Glacial Fortress. Again, just don't want to miss the land drop. It's too brutal to miss land drops with this deck. Alright. Yeah, Blue Eye Cycling is definitely more of a control deck, and it's pretty fun. I've played quite a bit of it recently, but I still like it. Well, that gives us a white source. So I assume he's going to have some kind of counterspell if he's going all in like what he's doing. Nothing we can really do about it right now. We just have to hope. Which is in a spot that you don't really like being in with this deck, but you do what you have to do. Don't really care about his land. We're just doing this to get a plains. We sideboarded this out. Or did we misclick something? Oh no, we didn't sideboard this out. Sorry, I was thinking of a different matchup. We definitely left this in because this is good versus this card. I think I played it 4 times, but there was an error in one of the videos and I wasn't able to upload it. So we can play this and know that we don't get negated, which is okay. Or we can just try to settle. I think we're going to play around... want to do that. I think we're going to play around a counterspell. Or, you know, you can still have Supreme Will, but we're going to play around to negate is what I'm trying to say. So we had the counterspell either way. Didn't matter which one we played. Well, that's bad. It's pretty easy to lose with this deck when you get behind on lands. It's like now we're going into turn 8. We've missed 3 land drops even though we've cycled many extra cards. So we probably won't be able to win this game. He just has too much going on for him at the moment. There's always some chance though, I guess. He's got a Spell Pierce in his hand now too. I think, oh, that goes to the bottom of his library. I'm sorry, he does not have that in his hand. Alright, so to even have a chance, we really need to draw an untapped land right now. Because we need to get this in play before that's on ultimate. Probably an Ixalan's Binding too. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, untapped land? Not an untapped land. Well, so that, so again, we've just missed 1,000,000 land drops, and when you miss those land drops versus the teamer decks, you just can't win. Like, games 2 and 3 are pretty poor for you to begin with, so anytime that you miss that land, it's just a little overboard. And as you saw, we missed several lands this game. And we're dead. We were dead anyway. I know I left myself dead on board. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't go for it. Was a bluff. I don't think Tulio would have attacked for lethal if he didn't have a counterspell in his hand. All right, starting off 0-2, doing great. Hey, Hate Bone, thank you for the follow. But yeah, we left ourselves dead on board to the Johnny, but like I said, it was really kind of a bluff. Bluffing Farming Market or even a another Effer Meltdown. But we wasn't going to win anyway without making some, like, getting ridiculously lucky. Which is why we did that. Probably still kind of bad. Alright, so the experiment of going down to 25 lands has not worked out at all. We've needed lands in every game. Alright, we'll keep never mulliganing a hand that's got a turn 2 Azcanta. And now we get paired versus potentially our worst match. Don't know that he's playing red deck wins. Could not be, you know. Could just be a teamer deck that led off of a mount in the case we had something, but it's very likely red deck wins, and it's by far our worst match. Definitely putting a Censor in the graveyard. This is one of the reasons that there's an Illumination in the deck over the Glimmer. At least Illumination's somewhat plausible versus those decks. We'll put most things in the graveyard that aren't lands here. Hickey Cormorant? I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry, but thank you for the follow. Do I want to put the land in the graveyard? Probably. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'll drew land anyway. So I have a cast out for like a Chandra or a Hazoret. Probably just taking 3 damage this turn. So they play absolutely nothing. Well, we definitely scrapped that to the bottom. I don't think we're going to put that in our graveyard. We can cycle it at the end of the turn if we really don't need it. But we're definitely not taking another 3 damage from the Cropper, so there's a good chance that we need the second cast out. That's not good. So we're basically at 4 life now. Rip. I guess we are taking 3 more damage. Guess I could have bluff settled a wreckage. That was bad of me. I was too quick to react on that spell. That was bad of me. Very, very bad of me. Getting a little ahead of myself because I'm in such bad shape. Huh. So we're taking 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just dead. I guess we have to put it in our graveyard. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh well. Didn't play that game particularly well, but... should have definitely let him attack. That was a big mistake. Anyway, in comes the sideboard cards. And out goes the slow blue cards. And we'll play first. Hand's absolutely trash, but I'm not going to mulligan that card. This match is so bad that we basically have to have that card to win. And it's easier for us to draw lands than to guarantee that card in our hand on 6 cards, so... go ahead and keep it. We had 3 lands already, too, and on turn 3 we can turn one of these into another white or a blue. Well, providing he plays an untapped land, of course. Or, sorry, a non-basic land, of course. Which he may not. Never know. Alright, he did. Not the one that we per se wanted him to play, but... could have did this at end of turn as well, so they couldn't play a 1-drop, but I kind of want him to play a 1-drop if he has it. Wait. He chose not to get a land. I'm absolutely mind blown that he just didn't get a land there. Why would you not get a land? Just always get to land. It's free. Guess he just misclicked. Guess he just misclicked. I don't really know. Alright, so we have to fade Chandra. Not a Chandra. Good sign. I have a meltdown, so I'm not going to cycle to cast out. We need it for Chandra. If he ever does draw one. Not really concerned about him playing anything else either. Guess I'm fine with this. Yeah, I don't really want to take the damage. If he has an untapped land, he gets a 4/4 back if he chooses, but takes up his entire turn, and we have two different ways that can kill 4/4 in our hand, and we gain a life when he does it. Just looking for lands in all the wrong places. If he doesn't play a Chandra, I'll probably cycle to cast out at this point. Since we have two approaches in hand and just need the 7th land. I don't care about that. Opponents drew miserable this game, and we've had a chance. Alright, he can't kill us now, so with him being hellbent, there's just nothing he can play to stop this. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Authority's so key to winning this match. Obviously, he drew poorly, but like, it's easier to keep the authority and like draw a land or two than to mulligan and have the authority and the lands. So if you have a reasonable hand and an authority that you can cast on turn 1, especially on the play, always keep it. I don't care if it was like 1 plains, an authority, and a bunch of reasonable spells. You have a mathematically better odds of drawing the one way when you already have the important card in your hand. I don't really change anything from play to draw in this match. With different builds of the deck, sometimes I cut a couple of sensors, depending on them on the play or on the draw, but with this particular build, where we don't have the Sunscourge champions or anything, we have plenty of extra cards, and like I would take out the Illumination before I would cut a sensor. I would probably even take Ops out before I cut a sensor, but the reason I cut Search for Azcanta here is because I feel like I always need to cast one of these 14 spells on turn 2. So like even if this hand had 1 white mana in it, I would keep it. And that hand's trash. Yeah, we'll keep it. I'm not going to go down to 4 cards versus our worst match. If we got to get lucky, I'd rather just get lucky with the scry and the draw. And we're not going to concede because, you know, there's some chance that he's also mana screwed or whatever. What if he doesn't play another spell? But obviously, it looks like we're just going to lose here. Definitely going to just lose here. Give ourselves one more draw step. We've had mana issues the entire night. And GG. So that's 0-3 in the league, so no more prize, so I'll be conceding to any other opponents we play versus, but we're going to play the matches out at least, just for the sake of the stream / the video. Oh, for anybody that's new here, my name's Searzest. I play Magic every day. I'm not particularly good. But if you like what you're seeing, please give us a follow and to click the links down below to both my Twitter channel, where you can see every time we go live and every deck list we play that night. And we try to play a pretty large variety of standard decks and keep it fresh. And you can also follow a link to my YouTube, where you can find all of our past streams. Feel free to follow the Twitter. Feel free to follow the YouTube if you want, especially the YouTube. It helps promote very, very much. And also, if you're already watching from the YouTube, keep in mind that in the video in the description below every video, there's a link to my Twitter, my Twitch, and the deck list for playing in that particular video. Alright, got it all spit out. So I can't really tell whether this build of the deck's working or not. Like, I felt in fairly good shape in almost every game, and then we just like missed a land or two and lost. The changes we've made, where we cut one of the 4 fumigates and one of the searches and one of the disallows and one of the lands for some ops. Like maybe, I don't know. It just feels like we're running on the low end of variance, and I can't really judge whether any of these are a thing. Certainly going to keep this hand. Like whether like any of those changes were good or bad, as opposed to just like running bad. I don't think this deck's particularly well positioned at the moment, but it still is our baby. Jund colors. We played a Jund energy deck a couple nights ago. It's pretty fun. Actually, go ahead and censor that, because it makes it harder to censor anything else. So we might as well get something if we're going to get anything. Oh, so this is a 4-color deck of some kind. We're looking for a censor right now. No censor, so resolves. I think we're going to go ahead and cycle this. If we're playing that many colors, they're less likely to have planeswalkers I care about, I think. I mean, there'll still be some in the deck, probably like Vraska, but need to get to our stuff in general. Rip. That's a good one. Kinda want the cast out back now, don't we? Probably not cycling this farmland. Guess we're gonna cast this spell there. Still has 6 cards in his hand, though. Three Rogue Refiners are really nice at replacing his draws. Dropping a decent amount of frames on that. So I have to find a brooch pretty soon, I guess. 17 cards deep right now. Really don't like only having 3 approaches in the deck. Vraska or something, and we're on a very short clock. Yep. You can do it, Dick. That's not doing it. So we put that on the top and that on the bottom. It gives us 4 more cards. We're just going to take this damage. If he plays a Glory Bringer or something that's probably unlikely to be in this deck, we would worry about using a spell, but as of right now, we're just looking for a cast out with the Supreme Will. If we do hit it, we have enough mana to play a Settled Wreckage and a cast out on the following turn. Alright. I guess we'll go ahead and do this now. None of those are the cards we need. And he could even hit a Censor now and screw this up. Keep losing the energy to that. Maybe we shouldn't have cycled this one cast out a year ago, but we would have just used it on that Scarab God anyway, so we still wouldn't have it for this. When you're 25 cards deep in your deck, you generally expect to draw something except for just more redundant copies of Wrath of God, though. We drew like 5 of our 6 this game. So we die to even... Any blue spell kills us at this point. Well, not any blue spell, but any blue type counter spell kills us at this point. Neat. It's actually pretty good for us. With a card we were not particularly worried about, and if we get to settle this turn, we have a turn off to cast our approach. So we're looking in decent shape right now. Could have took that damage even. He wasn't presenting lethal with it. He was only presenting 7. But I don't really want to take the damage. Wait. He could have just cast that, right? So does that mean he has something better to do with this mana? I don't understand. Don't know if I would have minused that just to play a Rogue Refiner this turn. Yeah, well, we have a decent amount of life again. Sure. Ooh, Search for Azcanta pretty sweet. Makes me not want to cast a Fumigate. Makes me want to wait and use the Settle. Probably have to cast a Fumigate now. So we know it's 6 cards down. So next turn we'll be able to use one of these. And the turn after that we'll draw. Could have tried to hit a Cycler this turn, I guess. Probably not, but... Good chance he has a Vraska's Contempt or something. Yeah. Thought that was a pretty good chance. Also just not worried about it with how this game's shaping up. You can only get spells if he flips to Search for Azcanta. Excuse me for 1 second, guys. Stream's gonna go black for half a second. Probably like 20 seconds to be honest. Sorry, had to do something real quick. That's our own Search for Azcanta. That's as good as a Cycler. Guess we'll use it on this. Sure. So he missed. Kind of as expected. There's not a lot for him to hit. Well, opponent's tapping a lot of mana. We have the second approach next turn, though, so unless there's a counterspell in his hand. Oh, wow. We're dead. I did not expect that main deck, and now we're dead. It's exactly 14. RIP. I guess I could have just not played the Gideon. I didn't have to play the Gideon. Well, if I hadn't played the Gideon, if I wanted to hold up Settle, I couldn't play the Search, so. Yeah, well, we're just dead. Hey, Holloman, what's up? Just attacks 2 things of Gideon and we're dead. I guess we're not dead, it's just 13. Why'd I think we were dead? He attacked Gideon with 1 more thing than he had to as well. Maybe he has a counterspell, who knows? We will not put that in the graveyard. Sure, we'll flip it. We either win or we don't. Tapping mana. It's got main deck counterspells too. Yep. Second approach deck we played just had main deck counterspells. Or sorry, second energy deck we played just had main deck counterspells. I think we drew very below average to even be in both of those spots, but that's fine. Apparently I also counted wrong at some point. So we're going to bring these in, and since they're running enough counterspells and Vraska's, we're probably going to bring some of these in. We're not going to bring them all in, though. Since he's playing Vraska's Contempt, I don't think I'm going to keep these in. What else? I want some of the counterspells, I want some of these. It's just not really a good thing to do here. Maybe I don't want all the negates, maybe I only want 2. So we'll play first. The hand's keepable. It's nothing to write home about, and we can definitely get smashed by a cub before it's too late. We have a Kefnet though. It'll be the first time we've cast Kefnet with this deck, providing we get to cast it. Kefnet's not great versus the Vraska's Contempt either though. Which mana does that take to draw a card? 4? I'd rather get this in play. Search for Azcanta is the best card in our deck, so definitely want to get it in play. That's good enough for us to cast Fumigate against. Settled Wreckage, probably fine to go to the graveyard at this point. Our hand's weak enough that we kind of need to draw some kind of gas. Kefnet doing absolutely nothing, which is why I hate it. But I wanted to try it because I saw it in a few lists and people kept suggesting it. He also has Hostage Takers in his deck, so... like, at some point this Kefnet could just be a liability. Meltdown to graveyard, certainly. Take the 2. Yeah. Use his ability. No, thank you. Oh, we got a card with it. Field Rune definitely in the graveyard. It's the second search for Azcanta. So next turn we can attack the Vraska if we need to, I guess. Let's put a little counter here and keep up with our cards because we failed miserably at keeping up with it last time. I feel like one counter spell probably beats us though. As we can find ours. Glacial Fortress to the graveyard, certainly, and then draw a card for our turn, so that's 2 cards. Go ahead and grab that thing, because that thing is beyond brutal. Hey, Johnny. What's up, man? Was that our card? Yep, that was the card he got from us. That was a lot of things. It's like 13 damage. We're doing very miserably tonight. Framed pretty badly in most games, I think. Don't think the deck's very well positioned at the moment either. We've played a little loose on top of that, but I think we've mostly just ran really bad. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's actually waiting on. If he's playing that post-combat, he may not have a counterspell. Or he could be looking for a discard spell. Discard spell it is. So if he also has a counterspell, we're pretty SOL. Like how all that works. Oh, it hurts. So our other approach is 5 cards down right now. 4 cards down. Supreme Will to the graveyard, definitely. So it's now 2 cards down. Alright. So how do we try? What's our best chance to try to survive? Could just cycle once and see if we get there, I guess. Could use this, but then we A, shuffle the approach away, and B, even if we hit, wouldn't have enough mana to protect whatever we want, so I think we're just going to start with a cycle. Kind of hope we hit a Fumigate. That doesn't do it. Yeah. Well. See, we've not played a land for our turn, have we? We know the top card of our deck's an approach though, so drawing the card doesn't do anything, so we kind of just have to pass here. And hope he doesn't have a counterspell and that we hit settle with the Azcanta. That's our only out. It's a pretty thin one at that. Especially considering we've gone through 2 settles already. So we know the top card's not good, and the second card could be good. So it has to be settle. If he attacks with that, cast out's not even enough. One time. Not there. GG. And now we are currently 0-4. Getting absolutely smashed. We've only even won 1 game. I would say to give us a follow and stuff, but I don't deserve it. So do not follow me. Do not click my link to my Twitter. Do not follow it to see when we're live. Do not click the link to my YouTube to see all of our past streams. And do not follow the YouTube either. Just stop it. I'm not good enough to watch. Made a few questionable plays, but I don't think any questionable play we've made's actually cost us a game this evening. the one time that we should have cycled during our upkeep, I think we won. Maybe we won that game anyway. I don't have any idea. Wonder what's going to be in. Wonder what I was going to be in Rivals. I'm thinking about cutting the Gideons from my list. Hell, real. I'm mostly joking. I'm not trying to be hard on myself. I'm trying to be funny. I'm sorry if it's coming off as like being salty or whatever. I don't mean it that way at all. I'm honestly trying to make a joke. I guess my voice makes it kind of hard for humor to come through. You can't hear the sarcasm in my voice or whatever. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean it as salt. I meant it as something to laugh about. We tried the Esper list. I've not liked the Esper list at all because A, I've not thought Fatal Push was very good at all, and I thought the mana issues were really bad. Like, I'd never want Fatal Push versus any of the energy decks. Like, it was a card I would probably sideboard out versus the energy decks. So like, if I don't want it versus the best deck and the most popular deck, I just don't really want the cards at all. I don't think. We tried it. Like, we didn't have much success with it at all. I just think Blue-White Approach is in a pretty mediocre spot in general at the moment. I think Blue-White Drakehaven's a lot better. Having to tap 7 mana to win a game is so much, and only really being able to interact with like, a couple cast outs, a couple of meltdowns / fatal pushes on whichever build, or / harness lightnings on whichever one of the flavors you are. Like, that's just so little interaction versus decks that are all getting like 2-for-1 cards and stuff like that. Whereas like with the Drakehaven, you can sometimes just slam a turn 3 Drakehaven and stall so long with just that card. I've not had any success with Kefnet at all. I've not had, the only time I've ever had any success with Kefnet is when ours originally came out and Blue-Red Control was a card that Jabber had built. So anyway, this is our worst match by a lot, and we got punished by drawing one of the Rivulets. We've taken more damage off Rivulets this tournament than I probably have in the past 6 months since I've been playing them. Do have a pretty reasonable draw though. But I assume he's gonna have some burn spells and some haste spells, and it's gonna be all sorts of fun. Do you have an updated list? I've not saw a list. What's our opponent's record? 0-0. Alright, well at least we're not taking damage. Glimmer Genius, definitely to the graveyard. Our opponent had a pretty weak draw, so. Chandra! Hello, Chandra. How are you today? Have a cast out for the Chandra? Oh, and they've got Glorybringers in their main deck? Rip. Not a good time. Our little Gideon's probably going bye-bye. Almost want to keep that. Actually, I think a second Gideon's okay. So I really feel like this Gideon's not going to be long for this world. I don't think enough decks are playing Lost Legacy to make me want that. And I think the majority of the decks that play Lost Legacy are decks like Abzan tokens and Esper tokens and things of that nature. And decks that can deal with your Gideon's Intervention anyway and then just play the Lost Legacy. Like sometimes you'll see it out of like the blue-black control decks or whatever, and Gideon's Intervention is actually good versus those decks, because at worst case scenario you can call like a Gearhulk or a Scarab. But I don't think I want that card for just one match that's not very popular. Your name seems super familiar to me. Definitely going to put Settle in the graveyard. Guess we're going to go ahead and minus it at this point. We have a Settle to Wreckage, which means he probably can attack. Hello, D's. We are having a pretty rough night, yeah. I don't know, we made some changes to the deck. We removed a land, and we, removed one of our Fumigates, and removed one of our Search for Azcantas, and I felt like we've struggled with lands most of the evening. I'll go ahead and put that on the bottom. Could have censored it, but if he attacks with only one creature, we're going to settle it anyway. Huh. Kinda don't want to settle it then if that's all he's doing. Eh, whatever. Definitely a Plains in the graveyard. I don't think I've played particularly well tonight either. For some reason, your name reminds me of a weird harvest, or like an early harvest harbinger of the Springs player from way back in the day. Yeah, Lost Legacy is pretty crippling. I think the last time we played this deck, we lost a few rounds to Lost Legacy, but I don't think that happens enough to really need a card like Gideon's Intervention. And I feel like our sideboard's pretty tight on cards as it is. Did they cut AZF? What is A? I'm not sure what AZF is. Let's cycle this guy. Well, we get to at least flip the Search for Azcanta. Kind of a weird time to do that. Oh, I guess it's not. I thought he was using this ability. That's a fine time to do that. I thought he was using the other ability. My bad. Yeah, start building back up. Things are starting to go kind of bad here. By starting to go kind of bad, I mean they're definitely going bad. Definitely feel like I need a fourth approach in this deck. Goodbye, Gideon. We'll miss you. Okay. I assume he's going to pump it up. Maybe he's just going to discard 2 cards. Who knows? Or discard a card, rather, for 2 damage. I guess that's what he's going to do. Should have played a Plains last turn. I'm just now realizing that. Me not playing a Plains last turn was a fairly large mistake. Guess we'll draw it, since I didn't play the Plains. Hello, friend. We'll keep you. So you should sack this to stop me from gaining 1 life. And we're building our cards back up. Yeah, Search for Azcanta is the best card in the deck by a lot. I'm playing a build of 2 tonight because a local kept telling me 2's all I needed, so I figured I would try it, and like I am just absolutely convinced that is wrong. There needs to be a minimum 3 and arguably a 4th, I think. Opponent's taking another weird pause. Weird pauses are the best pauses. Plains to the graveyard, definitely. Oh. So, how much land do we have? 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. That's not enough for everything. So I think I'm just going to slam this then. The Hazoret's only going to deal 7 damage to me this turn either way, so it kind of like breaks even. Cast out. I guess we'll keep that. So we know it's 7 cards down now. He's hellbent. Said we know it's 7 cards down, but I mean 6. We drew a card for our turn. Alright, he conceded. He's done at that point. One second, guys. I have to do that thing again off screen. So the screen's going to go black for 1 second, then we'll come back and we'll sideboard. Alright, so we're coming back now. I don't want to take the extra 2 damage, but I could have. The way that was going to play out is he would have had to attack the Gideon anyway. Anyway, I never want to take the 2 damage, especially when we know that we can draw the win on the following turn, or 1 turn out. Anyway, in this match, I typically bring in the white cards and sideboard out the slower blue cards. Like, I typically sideboard out these, and I typically sideboard out these. And I typically sideboard out the Search for Azcantha's, even though it's the best card in the deck. This is the one match in the format I don't like. Click play. So, that's something to think about. One of my problems that I had with the Fatal Pushes was I had no way to reliably get Revolt. And besides the red deck versus the Teamer, the only things I really want to Revolt are Longtusk Cubs. This hand's fine. It's obviously not great, but we have a Settled Wreckage and we have a Gideon. I think that's good enough to keep in the dark. Well, not in the dark, but in general. It's definitely pretty weak. It's on the weaker side of hands I would keep. I always make that same play, Guo, and somebody in chat always suggests a play you're making, and I don't know which one's right. Like, I could entirely be wrong, but I do that every time. Field of Rune's a really nice card, by the way. Our Field of Rune can get us a blue mana if we need it this game. One of the many reasons I want to keep this hand. Drawing double approach is one of the actual ways to win this game, too. Would have loved to have had a authority when it was still reasonable. Just gonna slam it on this. Worst case scenario, it'll prevent like 5 damage. Oh, he's cycling. He brought in Swelder to Suns. Or Sweldering Suns. That's the, had an opponent the other day that had that main deck too, which I thought was kind of interesting. Chandra is great. Chandra makes us sad. Red Rover, bring us a cast out on over. Hey, that's a cast out. So like a big mono white deck now. Fun times. Lots of different things kill this right now. Even just wasting it, or not wasting his turn, but using his turn to like sacrifice a runes gets rid of the Gideon at this spot. I might have to try the I might have to try that build again. An Esper build again in general. It's the second one of those that's going though, so that's kind of helpful. Second Chandra is going to cause some problems. You have to draw 3 lands in a row? Three lands in a row put us in a pretty good spot. Unless he has another card, at least this can attack this turn. Rip can definitely attack this turn. If you do, you should adjust it. Well, I think we're just dead. Maybe he'll attack with both. I don't know. He can deal 4 damage to us, and then with just discarding cards, and then untap and kill us, we don't really have an out at all. Guess if he attacks with both and does 4 damage to us, we can play, maybe draw a land, play to Gideon, and 0 it. I don't know how that would actually win the game, but maybe it would. Or he could make the correct play. And we have no out to this. So do we have any out at all? No, we don't actually have an out now. I don't think we have an out, so... If we play this and 0 it, he just discards 2 to us and attacks. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh well. Moving on to game 3. I don't think I really want to change anything. I don't really want this Supreme Will in the deck, but I don't really want to play it out there. I mean, we're just dead on board. Like, we can't get a prize anyway. We know we lost, even if he makes a mistake and can beat us. Doesn't really teach us anything. If we were still playing for a prize, maybe, but remember, we're not playing for a prize at this point. And we couldn't beat the board. Like, he would have to make major punts for us to win. I can't even think of what he could do to make us lose. I guess he could not understand how Gideon works. Is that like the only thing he could do? This hand's bad, but we're going to keep it. Let's start with this. That way we have the opportunity to censor a 2-drop. And we're going to cross our fingers and scream no Beaumont to the top of our lungs. No Beaumont. Means we have a chance. Can I counterspell anything we can counterspell with these? Yeah, and we'll counterspell anything I can counterspell with this. Double Censor's pretty nice. Taking the 2, and then playing the Illumination. That was a good draw. That was a good draw, friends. So still have 2 removal spells in our hand. So we gain a life on that one. We lose a life on this one. Certainly don't want that. Let's see what he plays here. If he plays like another Glorybringer or something, we'll definitely Fumigate. I'm not going to settle just to play around like Lightning Strike type stuff. So, not entirely upset about that. I think we'll take this turn to do this. We're not cycling this cast out. We're going to save it for a Chandra. Or even a Hazoret, maybe. Looks like it's a Chandra. Consoles. Cast this on this. Play this. Alright, well, we have a nice board position. Oh. I wonder if I can just start attacking him with Gideon. Or is that just dumb? It's probably just dumb to start attacking him, but I kind of want to. I guess I should have, like, ticked up Gideon on this to try to get him to attack with both, but that kind of seems silly. Alright, so he's going to kill the Gideon no matter what. So I was right. I should have ticked up on this. It wouldn't have changed anything. He could have done it during my upkeep. Alright. I'm gonna let him hit me for 4 here. A bigger fish to fry with this card. A Hazoret and or a Chandra both in the game quicker than the Glorybringer by a lot. We're still at 20. Fumigate wouldn't be a bad draw. Approach would be the best draw. Huh. That dies in 1 combat, so... Settle. Alright. Still alive. What do you do? Oh, he cycled another Swelter. Sure. I do have the cats in this deck. I keep forgetting about that. Like, Swelter's kind of useful. Probably going to cast Settled Wreckage here. If it's just 4 or 5, I probably won't, but if he puts any more mana into it, like if he goes all in, I definitely will. Yeah, definitely will if he's going all in. Another authority. At some point, maybe I should just cycle this cast out, but I really like having a card that can, like, beat his cards that I care about the most. Looks like we're going to get this with the cast out. That way we can play the Regal at this point. Just go ahead and yield to that so he can do it as much as he wants. It also mimics us being F6, which is nice. We're going to cast out this, though, so we can play this. So we're taking 8. 8's a lot. So we don't take 8 this turn. We take a bunch, though. Oh, rip. Super bad shape now. Can't attack with this, at least. Another cat wouldn't be a terrible draw. That's a cast out. Guess we're going to cast out this so we can start attacking. We gain more life a turn than he loses this, than we lose this way. Oh, and he drew to Chandra, but we can at least start attacking the Chandra to keep its loyalty in check. That's 3 of our cast outs too, so. Sure. It's our one supreme will. So there's an approach. I think we have enough time to win if to approach pretty easily. But that might not be accurate. He might be able to draw something to get out of that. I don't think he can when we have the double authority of the councils out. He drew like a P of this turn, maybe. So we now know it's 6 cards down. So we know it's 2 cards down, so any cycler would win. It's got a Hazoret. I don't think... Maybe it does? So we go to 13, we go back to 12. Then on his next turn, he puts us at 10. I don't think he can win. So we drew the authority and we know we win. So, we know we win here, but since we can't get a prize, we're just going to concede to the opponent and let him move on in the tournament. Well, we beat a red deck. So that's kind of nice. We can't get a prize. We're playing a competitive league, and we went 1-4. So there's no reason to knock him out of a potential prize, so we're just going to concede to him. But we wanted to play the match out for both the stream stake and the YouTube video stake. And it wasn't the same approach. My math's right, but... So anyway, what did we learn tonight? I think I drew very medium. We lost to multiple energy decks. They all had Counterspell's main deck. We lost to a Red Deck Wins deck. We lost to a Grixis mid-range deck that also had Counterspell's main deck. So we lost to 3 decks that had Counterspell main deck, and we lost to our worst match. And we beat our worst match. What did we learn today? Today's build, we cut 1 Disallow, we cut 1 Search, and we cut 1 Fumigate from our previous main decks. And we cut 1 land, and we added 3 Ops and another Meltdown. We also changed 1 Glimmer to 1 Illumination. The Illumination was actually pretty good. Yeah, we felt like we were thin on lands the entire night. Hey, Sparrows, what's up, man? I thought that if I cut to 26 land and added the 3 ops, that it would smooth out the land enough that we'd be able to get by with 25 lands, and it just didn't feel like we could. I definitely want the 3rd Search for Azcanta back in the deck. As for the sideboard, we only brought in the Kefnet once, and it was pretty bad when we did. We didn't bring in the Torrential Gearhulks very much. I don't know really what to do with the sideboard at all. I need to rethink out the teamer match in general. Like, we've had our sideboard strategy since day 1 of the format, and we've not really altered the deck a whole lot. Like, we've changed a card here and I changed a card there, but I feel like the energy decks in general have adapted entirely new game plans. I mean, obviously their game plans just play a lot of mid-rangey creatures and like kill us, but like how they approach us via the counterspells in the main deck, the counterspells in the sideboard, what variety of planeswalkers they have, whether they do torrential gearhulks like the PG or the Peach Garden Oath did at Worlds, like all of that drastically actually changes how this matchup plays out. And I don't think I've been comfortable in a while. I think the next build that we're going to try is going to reduce the number of Gideons, add another Search, maybe add another Meltdown. We're probably going to remove the Ops again and go back to a 26 land and another Fumigate and maybe a 4th Supreme Will. Or we might try the Esper or the Jeskai build next. I'm not sure, but like I said, I've not felt... Yeah, it feels like they've changed a whole lot where we've not changed much at all. By the way, hello man, what's up? Sorry that you missed the stream. Like, we just finished the end. This is where I want to be in Magic. Brings me joy being an underdog trying to beat a Goliath. That's fair. That's fair. And hello, Dalshi. Thank you very much for the follow as well. But I really think the blue-white Drakehaven deck's better positioned in this format right now, but this is still my baby. So, like, I always want to play this deck when we can. We're always going to play it every couple of days, even if I don't expect to do particularly well with it. But, like, for anybody who likes this deck, I highly recommend you try out the blue-white Cycling Drakehaven deck. I know it looks like Draft Shaft, but the deck's actually very good and has a very good teamer match, while being a little bit better versus the red decks. I can't recommend it enough. I still like Approach. I think it's fine. I don't know. Feel like we have to do some work to it. Really not sure what work we need to do to it though. But that's going to be it for us tonight. We pulled off the 0-5, even though we got the nice 90-man host tonight. It's always fun to look absolutely terrible in front of people. But, oh, thank you, Nolex Tex. Thank you for the follow. But we're going to give Sam the host, because Sam's good people, and I don't know who else is even on right now, but I know Sam's on without even looking, because Sam's always on. So, anyway, take care, everybody.